will need to toast these dry fruits that we have. Okay, so I will just take a tray. I will add all of these ingredients onto the tray. We will toast them slightly so it gives us, a much more nuttier flavor. So I will add the oats onto the tray, the raisins. If you do not have an oven to toast these, you can also just dry roast them onto your pans over your induction or the gas flames that you have. But just make sure you have a lower heat emitted. Otherwise, what will happen is if you start roasting these at a higher heat, along with toasting, you will also get like a slightly bitter, burnt aftertaste, which you do not want. Okay, so again, to chop pistachios, the brown sugar and chocolate I will keep aside for now, and even the honey, this I will add to the mixture once these are toasted slightly. Okay, so for now I will just put these in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes at temperature of 160 to 170 degrees till it's slightly roasted, and then I will continue using it. Yeah. All right. In the meanwhile, now here you saw I have just used a few ingredients, all right? Now if for variations to these, if you do not want to use honey or you do not want to use brown sugar, okay, what else can you use inside it? Any healthier versions? Yes. You can also use maple syrup if you want to. It will give you a better taste, flavor. Or you can just increase the quantity of dates in your recipe. Okay, if you do not want to add any other refined sugar, you can increase the quantity of dates. You can also kind of pulp it up a little, like puree it up a little, so it forms a paste. And you can use that also in place of honey in your recipe. Okay, along with the other dry fruits. Here I've just used almonds, pistachios, raisins, but you can also add any seeds or any other, like dehydrated cranberries or dried black raisins. Any healthier versions of these also can be done. So granola bar is something that it does. You don't really have like a standardized recipe. You can always innovate, add few ingredients more or less, change it as per your taste preferences, as per your palate, and you can go about with it.
Right. What about using some alternative to sugar? कई लोग होते हैं जो शुगर पसंद नहीं करते या डायबिटिक होते हैं. क्या क्योंकि बेक करना है, आजकल जो मिलते हैं बाजार में शुगर फ्री टाइप के, क्या वो यूज किया जा सकता है या बेकिंग प्रोसेस की वजह से आप अवॉइड करेंगे?
No, if you, like I said, if you don't want to use honey or refined sugar, it's absolutely fine. Like I said, these are not like standard ingredients that I need to use in the recipe. In place of that, if you just can increase the quantity of the dates that you use, because again, dates have a natural sweetness that is present inside. Or if you don't want that also, then you can also get these sugar substitute, like you get stevia, you get maltitol, all of these other sugar substitute variants, like sugar-free variants, which you can also add in like proper quantities, like proportionate quantities, and you can use that as well, not a problem.
Great. So we can use sugar substitutes also. That's a great thing to know. ये हम लोग दूसरे अनाजों के साथ भी बना सकते हैं. Can we explore some millets or something? या नहीं, we should stick to the regular recipes.
No, absolutely not. You can go totally creative with your ingredients that you are using, but just to make sure that you roast it slightly or you toast it slightly in the oven. Because you are roasting these ingredients, the shelf life of the product also increases, and that's how it kind of becomes a travel friendly food substitute that you can always carry on the go, will stay fresh for a longer period of time. That's how it is going to stay fresh. If you just use your ingredients directly, what will happen is, even if you see at home your nuts, almonds or walnuts, if you don't store it properly, it's not stored in an airtight container, it starts tasting a little rancid after a period of time. Like it doesn't go spoiled, but the flavor goes off. So to avoid that from happening, we kind of roast or toast these ingredients first, and then we start with the process of making the granola bar.
राइट. शेफ, ये जो पूरा प्रोसेस है, ये आप कह रहे हैं कि टोटल टाइम कितना लगेगा? 10 मिनट्स तो इसके ये रोस्टिंग के हो गए, लेकिन टोटल टाइम कैसा कितना लगेगा? और दूसरा एक चीज जो पूछना चाहेंगे, आर दीज रेसिपीज चाइल्ड फ्रेंडली एंड सेफ? क्योंकि कई लोग चाहते हैं कि अपने बच्चों को भी साथ में इन्वॉल्व करें कुकिंग में, एंड आपका ओपिनियन क्या है कि क्या बच्चों को भी इसमें कर सकते हैं? क्योंकि कई रेसिपीज में अवॉइड करते हैं हम लोग बच्चों को, क्योंकि
True.
यू नो यूज ऑफ नाइव्स एंड अदर थिंग्स,
Hazard, yeah,
फ्लेम, या तो क्या
correct.
आप मैं कहेंगे?
I think it is one of the easiest and simplest recipes you could try at home with your kids. Like I said, if you have an oven, you just need to put everything on a tray, toast it in the oven for a couple of minutes. Or if you're working together, like obviously there'll be a parent along with the kid, the parent can just, keep these roasted nuts even ready for the kid. And then all the other ingredients, mixing the honey or the dates or melting the chocolate and dipping it in chocolate. I think this is something that the kids will enjoy.
So are they roasted or we need to wait a little bit more?
Just a minute or two more, then it should be
ओके,
done.
सो जब तक वो रोस्ट हो रहे हैं, चलिए मैं आपसे एक सवाल और पूछ लेती हूँ कि ये ग्रेनोला बार का कॉन्सेप्ट जो है वो हम देखते हैं कि बाजार में भी बहुत आपको ये विद प्रोटीन एंड ऑल दैट मिलता है, लेकिन अगर आप पीछे पलट के देखें तो आप अक्सर देख सकते हैं कि उनमें बहुत या तो कार्ब्स होंगे या शुगर होगी या फ्रक्टोज सिरप होंगे, कॉर्न सिरप होगा, इस तरह की
True.
चीजें होंगी। सो यहाँ घर पे बनाना और ये कितना डिफरेंस है?
Like I said, it's a very easy recipe. So even if you are making it at home, I think it will be more convenient and more feasible also. Because if you see, even the packets that you buy, the granola bars or even the granola bits and pieces that you get, are always priced more. But if you go to make it at home, I think you can just make it in one fourth the price range of what you would ideally purchase. And it being and since the process is also not difficult, you can make it like in a bulk batch, like a container full, and always keep it ready in your store which is there. And it's a good option even for like breakfast. If you don't have breakfast, if you're in a hurry, you don't have time, to prepare a proper meal for you in the morning. You can just pick up a bar and eat it on the way because it has everything. It has your natural sugars if you're making it at home. It has all these dry fruits which will provide you enough good fats, nutrition, to keep you running through that period of time, till you
बिल्कुल।
start working, till you have your next meal basically. So
हाँ,
yeah.
और अगर आपके पास थोड़ा एक्स्ट्रा टाइम में बैठ के खा सकते हैं तो आई थिंक इफ यू ब्रेक इट अप एंड पुट इट इन अ बोल एंड पोर अ लिटिल बिट ऑफ मिल्क तो एकदम
True.
परफेक्ट हो जाता है। मेरे
Perfect.
ख्याल
So
से
the same thing that I'm making now, I will make it in a form of a bar, okay, so that you can
ओके।
cut it into pieces and pick it up on the go. But if you don't want to make this into a bar format, what you could also do is make the same mixture, just put everything on a tray, bake it in the oven, let it cool down, and you can just crush it and break it into finer pieces. And then you can use that in place of your cereals also that you get in the market. Like even the
या
cereals that you get nowadays, have a lot of extra sugar, unnecessary
दैट्स
amount
ट्रू।
of sweetness. So even this you can use in place of that. You can just make a bowl of your yogurt, add a few your granola bar bits and pieces. You add some more toasted nuts just for texture, and again you have something really yum to start your day with.
बिल्कुल, एंड आई थिंक आई शुड एडवाइस हमारी जितनी भी फ्रेंड्स हैं, हमारे मेंबर्स हैं, उनको बता दें कि
Yeah, that's true.
हमने ये क्यों चूज किया कि हम खाना भी रखें। वो इसलिए कभी कभार हम ऐसी जगहों पर ट्रैवल करते हैं जहाँ कुछ मिलता नहीं है, या आप देयर इज ऑलवेज अ पॉसिबिलिटी ऑफ गेटिंग एन अपसेट स्टमक इफ यू हैव अ सेंसिटिव स्टमक,
True.
तो कैरी ऑफ समथिंग, ये ब्रिज थ्रू करने
Carry
के लिए
meal
आपके जो
along.
स्नैक्स होते हैं, एग्जैक्टली सो इस तरह की
Yes.
ग्रेनोला बार या आप नट्स अपनी जेब में रख के घूम सकते हैं, तो इस तरह की चीजें जरूर अपने साथ ले जाएं। इट्स ऑलवेज सेफर, कैरी समथिंग विच इज इंस्टेंट, थोड़ा सा आपके लिए अगर आपकी सेंसिटिव स्टमक है तो इसमें कोई बुराई नहीं है। लोग भले ही आपको थोड़ा अजीब तरीके से देखेंगे कि ये
No,
क्या
and
कर रहे
I
हैं, लेकिन आई
totally
थिंक
agree with that because I am also somebody who, if I eat out for a longer period of time or I eat something that is completely different from my regular routine, I also tend to get an upset stomach. So if for me, I'm somebody who will always carry things along, whether it is breakfast, whether it is lunch, or anything that I need in between also. I will always make sure I have it along with me. And traveling with these kind of ingredients will make sure that you get that required boost of energy. Okay, if you
बिल्कुल
don't find somewhere, to sit and eat peacefully, you at least know you have something in hand where you can just, eat, you have that boost of energy, and then you can continue your journey further.
एब्सोल्युटली। सो शेफ, व्हाट्स द सिचुएशन विद द रोस्टिंग?
Done. I'm done. I'll
Oh,
just get the
great.
tray. Plug. Okay, so I've just toasted these slightly. Okay. The tray is a little hot. Okay, and as you roast, it also smells really yum. So I'm sure your house is also going to smell of all these dry fruits and
Uh,
raisins and things like that.
Meenal, maybe we can take me out of the broadcast that way.
All right. So now that the oats, the dry fruits that I've used are roasted enough, I will just pick this parchment up, empty all of this into a bowl right here. Okay, so I have added all the ingredients into the bowl. Now what I will do is add in this little bit of brown sugar. Now brown sugar, because it has a little molasses, it's less refined than your regular sugar. It gives a nice color and flavor to the granola bars. But like I said, if you are somebody who doesn't want to consume sugars like these, you can use substitutes or just increase the quantity of the dates that you are adding to the recipe. That can also work. Okay, so I've added the brown sugar. Now I will add in the honey. Now what honey will do is it will bind the entire mixture and keep it together. Okay, now in case of honey also, you can just puree up the dates that you use. You can soak the dates in warm water for some time, puree it up, and again it can be used in replacement for honey here. So now that all the ingredients are into the bowl, I will just make sure everything is combined well. Those also. Okay, so just press everything down. And you see slowly, slowly it starts coming together. All right. Now that everything has mixed, combined well, since we are making granola bar, I will use a tray and I have two frames that I will use in order to compress and level these out. Okay, so I will again take another tray. Okay, I have two frames like these in between which I will, pour the granola bar mixture inside and I will just level. So I will make sure that I have this thickness that is there. But in case you do not have this, you can just put the entire mixture onto your tray and compress it flat so that as it cools down later, it kind of forms a slab. And then that slab you can cut into your bar shape and then you can store it. Okay. Now here, if you want to increase or decrease the quantity of oats or increase the quantity of, the dry fruits that we've added, that can also be done. It will give you a much better flavor since you increase the quantity of the dry fruits. Okay. Now what I will do is I have a rolling pin with me. Okay. I will just keep the rolling pin over this and press it a little flat. So this will make sure that the bars are evenly leveled and then later it is easier for me to just cut these into rectangular portions. Okay, now if you see when I remove these from the side, I have a proper slab that is there, a sheet of the mixture that we've just made. And after this, what you have to do is again, you have to put this in the oven till the entire mixture kind of bakes and sets together. Okay, so now this, once it's done, again, it just needs to go in the oven for about 5 to 7 minutes at 170 degrees. All right. Now, since that would take quite some time for us to wait, I already have a set of the mixture kept ready with us. Okay, so if you see the color, it's light goes, slightly golden brown in terms of its color. Okay, if I lift the entire slab, it's perfectly holding itself together. Okay, so this is what it should look like.